No. This is the dumbest. This is by far the dumbest take I think I've ever reacted to on this channel. This is dumb.
Like Jokic, do you?
I'm not a Jokic guy. Not. My issue, no, genuinely, here's my nerdy basketball issue with him. The same way that my friends would attack me for Carmelo and that how his game is so, unique as a scorer that he can't do anything. Jokic is that way. He's so special and unique a player. You have to run your offense through him, just like you had to do with Melo. And it can only take you so far, just like Melo could.
That is literally the dumbest argument I have ever heard anyone try to make. First of all, him and Melo are not the same. That is noticeably dumb. Secondly, a star player playing a specific style of basketball that the team has to cater to, FYI, is every star in NBA history. Third and most importantly, saying that he's not able to get to the next step certainly doesn't make any sense because he's only had really one season in his prime where he's had his teammates that are healthy.
It's the same energy that Melo got for being a defensive liability, for not getting to the next level. I want to see that same energy for Jokic.
But it just started, dog. His prime just started. People made that assessment of Melo once we were already like 11, 10, 12, 13 years in his career. When he was still in Denver, Melo was definitely getting the benefit of the doubt until he transitioned in New York. And then we went from a player who had the potential of maybe a couple of conference finals appearances that just turned out to only be one, to somebody who couldn't even make it out the first round, even with the roster surrounding him. Sure, we can definitely highlight the roster around Melo wasn't the best in New York, and that's fair, but there's definitely undeniable more limitations to Melo's game than there is for Jokic. Even if you want to say that Jokic is a defensive liability, again, it's dragging it, but Jokic is a better rebounder, especially on the offensive boards. He's a better playmaker as well, and he's a more efficient scorer. So, no, the reason why Melo got that much backlash is because he wasn't providing enough of anything else that can aid a team to win a championship. So that's why he received that criticism. Again, this man is in his mid-20s. So as of right now, on teams that were not 100% healthy, yes, you can give him the benefit of the doubt the same way that Melo received the benefit of the doubt, and every other 25, 26, and 27-year-old received the benefit of the doubt at this stage of their careers, especially when they were on rosters that were inadequate to help them win championships. This is a dumbass argument, bro. God damn, you're dumb.
Also averages like 10 assists a game, bro. He's a willing...
Who did you want Melo to pass the ball to? 35-year-old rookie Pablo Prigioni?
No, and this is what I'm talking about. So Melo didn't average 10 assists because his teammates? Melo wasn't averaging 10 assists, not because his teammates, but because Melo was not a passer. He was not a facilitator to that degree. So to sit there and try to make it seem like, the reason why he was a bad playmaker is because his teammates is idiotic. But even if you believe that, who the fuck was Jokic passing to this year? Who was he passing to this year? Was Will Barton really moving the needle for you? You talking about Aaron Gordon and his regression from behind the arc? He was really rubbing your tits like that? That's really got you going? That team that he was surrounded with was horrible. It was a lackluster offensive unit, and Jokic still found a way to amount 8, 9, 10 assists frequently. You trying to believe that Carmelo Anthony and Jokic's playmaking ability is similar, and the only reason why Melo didn't peak higher as a passer and a playmaker is because of his teammates is dumb.
Joker has been amazing the last 2 years, obviously MVP. I want to see him this year with, his two best teammates.
That's the other thing.
Last season. So.
Because Jamal is kind of good at basketball.
Yeah, so is MPJ. So I want to see them out there with him.
Well, you know my thoughts on MPJ.
Running full force.
No, what are your thoughts?
You know my thoughts about MPJ? No. He's just like a grown-up bad guy from a Mighty Ducks movie.
He does look like
Doesn't he look like, or like Three Ninjas? He's like the bad guy in the karate tournament. Now he's all grown up. As 41 of the past 43 NBA Finals series have featured at least one of these 9 players. Think about that. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Kobe, LeBron, and Steph Curry. Moral of the story, you need an all-time great to win in the NBA. And I think Jokic is terrific. I think he's had an incredible run. Do I think he's one of those guys on the list, or I think he's one of the all-time greats? No, I don't.
That's a bad argument because all of those players did not become the players that made that list until later on in their career. Jokic is 27 years old. 27, who just concluded his 7th season in his NBA career. This is probably like the 4th or 5th season in his career where he was a starter. And unfortunately, it just so happens that during his prime years, some of his more valuable teammates have been injured. Us seeing what Jokic can potentially do in his prime and while he's peaking may not be extrapolated to the degree that it should be, but it's not because of him. But again, those players did not become those players until they actually made the finals. And even some of the other players who were able to get to the finals at an earlier stage in their career, such as Magic Johnson, such as Kareem, such as Kobe Bryant. Are you not going to put into context that those players came into the NBA playing alongside another all-time great? But even if you don't, like, let's just say hypothetically speaking, even if Jokic doesn't belong on that list, let's say he ends his career, because fair enough, it does take a certain level of player to get to that point. All factors are pointing to Jokic being that player. He just needs to have an adequate team around him. But even if he's not on that list, that still doesn't mean that he's not an all-time great player. Charles Barkley only made the NBA Finals once. Karl Malone never won a championship, made the finals twice, but he's not on that list either. There's other players who are top 25 players of all time that you did not name on that list, and we will all still recognize them as all-time great players. So that still doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I just don't think it's enough for him to be the best player on a championship team. And there's levels to this in the NBA and the conversations we have around the game. All these men are amazing. All the women in the W are incredible. We know that. It's why they're professional athletes in the world's best basketball leagues. But we can talk with some nuance and some depth, and we can analyze a player and say he's amazing, but why haven't they gotten to that next level?
We can talk some nuance here, but then you're purposefully ignoring the nuance of him not playing with his second and third best teammates. What are you talking about?
You lost the game 7 at home in the playoffs to Portland. You cheap shot somebody in the back. You get swept in the Suns in 4 and you get ejected from a playoff game. Like, these are things that happen and we can talk about. It doesn't take away from his greatness.
Those are all things that apply to some of the exact same players that you just said on that list. Some of the players on that list, they've blown 3-1 leads. They've been swept. They've been ejected out of playoff games. It still applies to all these other players. Michael Jordan didn't get out the first round until Scottie Pippen came along. Steph Curry blew a 3-1 lead. So did Kobe Bryant. Getting swept. There have been several all-time great players who've been swept in the playoffs. What are you saying? He lost a game 7 on home. A lot of that's happened to a lot of players. You're trying to add the nuance. The nuance that you're adding is applicable to everybody else you just had on the list as well.
If you go through the NBA on the Heat, who would you rather have than Jokic? Would you rather have Jimmy Butler on your team, or would you rather have Jokic?
Than Jokic?
I'd rather have Jimmy Butler on my team.
What in the fuck? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
You want Embiid or you want Jokic?
Ooh. TJ, I know you love Embiid.
I mean, for me, that I can't really answer that question because I'm obviously going to say
all right, we'll take
Embiid,
the Sixers fan out of the conversation.
Why is that? Why, nigga? What the fuck? Why is that a question? If everything y'all just sat there and said about getting further in the playoffs and performing in the postseason, how deep they can go, Embiid has never made it past the second round. Jokic has. So even by y'all dumbass logic, why would it not be Jokic?
Kevin Durant.
So far in the East, I've named like 6-7 guys.
Is this nigga implying that Jokic is not a top 10 player in the NBA? No, this nigga's dumb.
It's a generational guy.
Would you rather have Luka or Joker?
I'd rather have Luka. Much rather have Luka.
But why though? Why? By your logic, they both made it to the conference finals only once. If you think Jokic is a defensive liability, I'm assuming you would also have to say, if you think Jokic is, I'm assuming you have to say Luka is as well. Both of them put up great numbers as well. Very unique players. The same logic that you're running with Jokic, you would have to then give to Luka as well. So that doesn't make any sense.
Paul George?
At this stage in his career, maybe 2 years ago, I'd rather have Paul George. I don't know. I think Paul George, I love Paul George, but I think I'd rather have Jokic.
Devin Booker?
I think I'd rather have Devin Booker.
No, you would not. There's not a fucking smart basketball mind in this world that would rather have Devin Booker than Nikola Jokic. You are an idiot, dog. You're a fucking idiot. You are dumb. There's nobody, and I mean no one, literally no one, who would ever in their right mind say that they would rather have Devin Booker over Nikola Jokic. Are you telling me, at this point, you're basically telling me that Jokic is like the 15th best player in the NBA right now? You're dumb. This is the dumbest, this is by far the dumbest take I think I've ever reacted to on this channel. This is dumb. This nigga's argument is literally, basically, your team has been healthier, so that's the reason why you're better. That's basically what he's saying. This is the dumbest argument I've ever heard, bro.
So the MVP is what, the 15th best player you'd want on your team? It's kind of weird.
It's very weird. That's what I'm saying. That's what's weird about it, guys. And it's all love. Like I said, the man is incredible. A unique set of skills. Let's call him the Liam Neeson of the NBA, right? He's taken. He's got such a unique set of skills. However, I think they're so unique that there's a limitation to them. I don't think that he can take the Nuggets over the top as the best player on a championship team.
But half of the players that you name also couldn't do that. Even if you say that's true, like literally everybody that you name also couldn't do that either. So what is the argument? The conversation about Jokic has been the most unique, weirdest, oddest conversation I've ever had in the NBA community. Because for a player that is that talented, that skilled, that undeniably great, not only on paper, not only looking at the data, but even just watching Jokic play basketball, he is undeniably one of the top 3 to 5 players in the NBA for the past 2 years now. Undeniably. I have never seen so much pushback from random people in the media. I've never seen it before. I've never seen it. And to not even give him the benefit of the doubt with the numbers and the production that he's provided to you over the past 2 years because of his teammates being injured does not make any sense to me at all.
So
not just NBA, but
and it's been
sports.
Unfortunate for Jokic the last 2 seasons to have guys down at key times in the year. All right. Does that mean he I don't know what do you want to say? Like he has guys injured?
Yeah.
Everyone has guys injured. When the Warriors lost the finals to the Raptors, is Kawhi Leonard not a champion because KD and Klay were out? Like, no. Michael Porter Jr. is a solid player, but Giannis didn't have Chris Middleton, a made guy in the league. Michael Porter Jr. is not a made guy on any level in the league.
That's true.
Right? Chris Middleton is. He's an Olympian. He's an all-star. Giannis goes out
Star
there
of
and wins
hustle.
playoff series and takes his team deep. And I don't know. I'm a big fan.
He took him 1 round deeper, and then literally the year before, Jokic took him to the exact same round. They went to the second round the year before without Jamal Murray. But again, these are false equivalencies. It's not just Michael Porter Jr. was out and it was Jamal Murray and Jokic. It's not just they got in and out of the first round. It's both. It's both Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Giannis was not playing without Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. It was just Chris Middleton. I try to hear people out in arguments. He's dumb. This is a dumb argument. I don't know if he's purposely trying to act dumb because he made a dumb take and he's trying to stand firm on it. This is dumb. You're dumb. Whoever this is, you're dumb, dog. You're dumb. You're making a bad take, a bad argument, and then you're using these false equivalencies to try to make your argument valid, but it's very easy to just see through your bullshit. It's bullshit. Hey, that's just what I think. Please let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. Also, bro, if you believe that I'm bugging on the whole Jokic and how the media talks about him, watch the video on the screen right now. Again, it's more examples of how the media I genuinely believe they just hate Jokic. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.